So we're back then with another character breakdown for Marvel's Midnight Suns. Today we'll cover everything we know so far about Scarlet Witch. The information in question, this is the passive, an overview of her playstyle and her various different abilities, comes from both the wiki for the game, I'll put a link to that in the description, and a series of videos being done by a content creator called Christopher Odd. I'll put a link to his channel in the description as well. But the Scarlet Witch we will be covering today. We'll start off with a brief overview of her playstyle, we'll then check out the passive that's available to her, and then we'll check out our cards as well. Now if you enjoyed this video and if you want to help us support the channel, consider becoming a channel member where you can actually get early access to videos such as this. But let's dive in. Let's start off with the overview first. Scarlet Witch then, like the other heroes we've covered in previous videos, has got her own unique playstyle, so she'll feel very different from the other heroes. In regards to the playstyle that's available to her, it looks to be based around AoE attacks, and that could be either offensive, defensive or support style attacks. She'll be doing them over a wide area, which isn't something we've really seen yet with any of the other heroes. On top of that as well, she has an element of randomness to her kit, which makes sense from a thematic point of view because her chaos skills, and it's hard to tell what they're actually going to do, but from a gameplay point of view I'm not too sure how this will actually play out. But that's a quick overview of her playstyle. Let's go in and break down her passive now. So with the different heroes that are available in the game, they all have access to a passive that's got 3 different tiers. As you increase your relationship with the heroes via the Abbey, you will in turn increase the bonus you get from the passive. This is a tier 2 version of this passive here for Scarlet Witch. It's called Wrong Place, Wrong Time. With this is a 25% chance to debuff each enemy near Scarlet Witch each turn. Really not too sure how I feel about this particular one because it's just a 1 in 4 chance. This is at level 2, I'm not sure how high it would go at level 3, but it's a 1 in 4 chance to add a debuff. The enemies need to be near you, so you're putting yourself in a difficult position potentially, but on top of that as well, I believe it's a random debuff you're actually adding. So personally for me, I think this is a bit too random. Yes, from a flavour perspective it seems nice, but gameplay perspective wise I'm really not sold on this at all. But that is a passive. Let's start breaking down the cards for her now. In regards to the cards we have access to, with previous heroes we've been able to see around about 12 or so cards for them. With Scarlet Witch we only actually have to see 4 cards, so they're really not showing off a lot of her kit at all. Now the first one we look at is going to be skill based cards we break down first, but the first one we look at here, this is Chaos Field, so this is a level 1 version of this. So when you use this for the next turn, allies near Scarlet Witch gain resist. Resist means you don't take any damage before the next attack. If you upgrade this to tier 2, you'll see you get the same effect where you're gaining resist, but on top of that you're recovering health for them as well. So this one could be nice. Resist is a pretty good buff to add to your characters, and the health could be useful as well, but it's all about positioning. You need to make sure your characters are close together so that they're all getting the benefit of this. The next card we have here in our skill based one, this is just the level 2 version of this particular card we have. So this is called Unleashed. When you use this, it increases the size of Scarlet Witch area abilities by 40%, which really is a decent amount for 2 turns. We've been told that this will stack as well, so if you get it on the next turn as well and it's still active, you'll be up to 80% increased AoE. And with certain abilities, the more powerful ones, we'll look at the legendary card later on for example, that 80% AoE could be really pretty amazing. So we move on to the heroic cards here. This first card we've got here, it's a tier 1 and tier 2 version of it. It's called Chaos Reign. So tier 1, you select an area, enemies within that area attack each other. It doesn't say what kind of attack they do, if it's a basic attack or maybe they can do more harder hitting ones. If you upgrade this to tier 2, then you can see it adds a 50% chance for each enemy to attack twice. So we need to see gameplay wise how powerful this is. It's an interesting card thematically, but once again from a gameplay perspective it really does seem a bit random. So sadly we're already on the final card for this showcase video because we really don't have a lot of information for her at all. Now the final card, as always, it's a legendary card. This is unlocked when you max out the relationship for a character at tier 3. You'll get the black and gold Midnight Sun costume and you'll get a legendary card as well. This one here, tier 1 version, it's called No More. It's 6 heroic energy. You consume all health to damage each enemy near Scarlet Witch. The amount of damage you do will be based on her health pool, so there's potential to do a huge amount of damage with that, but you are sacrificing Scarlet Witch, and I'm pretty certain on some of the later difficulties, it might be the last one, you don't get any revives in a stage, so when you use this that would be your downed. Although saying that, there are certain combat items you can use that could potentially actually revive her, so we need to look into that a little bit more. The tier 2 version in this card, when you use this, you'll draw a card for each enemy you actually knock out as well. So if you combine that with the 80% AoE, the huge amount of damage you could be doing, you could be filling your hand full of cards there, and certain characters can actually play into that particular playstyle. This card as well, like all the legendary cards, has got exhaust on it, which means once you play it once in a battle, you can't play it again for the rest of that particular fight. But that's everything we know so far for Scarlet Witch. I would say she's probably the first character that I'm a bit disappointed with, which is really surprising how big a name she actually is. But do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think our kit looks a little bit disappointing as well, when we maybe perhaps missing the other cards that would flesh out what she does and make her seem a bit more useful, like some of the other characters we've looked at? Or is she going to be, unfortunately, a disappointing character because they're leaning into that randomness in her playstyle? But let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon.